A while ago, I thought I was dying. Luckily, it was one of those false alarm sort of deals. I lost vision in both eyes for a while. It took a few trips to the ophthalmologist and an MRI scan to get the all clear. Probably pretty obvious, but thinking you might be dead soon gives you a bit of perspective. It was kinda dramatic, but I wanted to make a video thanking you all for coming on the adventure that life was. From humble, cringy beginnings in Perth, to the memories we made in Melbourne, and the dramatic move over to Sydney. At least I thought things would suck less if I made this. Life went on, and I procrastinated and procrastinated until it felt like a distant memory. Last year wasn't really great for all of us, so I kept working on this anyway, thinking it'd be fun to look back on things. As I sat down to edit, a wave of nostalgia overcame me. These familiar faces I hadn't seen in so long popped up one by one. Every new face, a new memory. So hey, I miss you. It's been a while. Hope you're all well. How's Perth these days? Probably not so different from when I first left. I still haven't been on Elizabeth Quay after all these years. Even now that I've spent all this time in Melbourne and now a year in Sydney, when people ask me where I'm from, I still say I'm from Perth. Part of me hopes I can come back in 5 years and that tiny city pretending to be a big one won't have changed. Same for all the people in it. I miss the dumb shit we did in primary school. LAN parties at Scott's place, sleepovers at Adam's. The 4 amigos? I miss being smart. I miss going to school, complaining about essays and worrying about the next test. Walking home together after school because my house was really close. Saying and posting all sorts of cringy shit. The times where every conversation was about that thing they saw on Tumblr. Picking up a camera for the first time and bringing it to school and becoming that camera guy. All the thousands of photos I took. That time Bella shaved her head, or the time we went down to the beach for a legendary water fight. Days spent hanging out at each other's houses, watching Supernatural and Doctor Who. And skipping school was a big deal, and getting a red peas was huge. All the random drama that seems so shallow now. Rumors and crushes that were the spiciest stories around school. Parties and birthdays that were the highlight of every term. Getting ready for the ball, or the annual river cruise, and all the crap that followed. Going to New Zealand to jump off a perfectly good bridge. Or shooting a gun for the first time. And many times after that. Hanging out at the library, studying for waste like our lives depended on it. Pretending we were uni students. Checking out the ATAR board every semester. Graduating and not knowing what life was going to be like after this. Preparing for World Challenge, going to India, hiking and camping on Quarry Pass. Experiencing all sorts of new and odd things. Helping build that school. I miss every Australia Day fireworks we used to meet up for. I miss my childhood. I miss you. The 3 years I spent in Melbourne changed who I was dramatically. I look back on those times fondly every day, and I dream of being able to relive those moments again. Did life really go by that fast? As much as I want to believe it'll be the same when I come back every now and then, I know one day all the people I miss might not be there anymore, so hey, I miss you. My first time living alone. Meeting new people. I miss when we crashed my room all the time. Even if I got pissed off sometimes, I'll always treasure those late night conversations. The times we tried to find the best spot in the library, or walking around O Week for the first time. I miss the times we explored the city. Clothes shopping. The times you brought me to those fancy cafes. My first ever drink. The potluck we'd always have every week. Riding in the trams for the first time, and watching my first fireworks in Melbourne. All my dumb mistakes. I miss going to church and doing life together. The Sunday lunches and Friday nights. Blending in at OCF like I was an international student. Meeting and learning about each other like we were one big happy family. Serving, going camping or taking road trips together. The Gold Coast and hitting up all the amusement parks, or driving to the top, to the bottom of New Zealand for a true adventure. I miss the small adventures too. Quiet conversations and antics every night. Finding meanings. I miss the love. I miss sleeping through lectures, claiming tutorial rooms after hours and the all-nighters. 1 AM 7-Eleven coffee runs and 2 AM Macca's runs. Studying. Trying to learn the guitar or trying VR for the first time. Playing League or PUBG late into the night. Going to the gym properly and getting through all those assignments. Getting destroyed by exams. Confusion on the discussion forum and the panic in the messenger chat. Compilation errors. Segmentation faults. Sharing and practicing for interview questions. I miss the bands. I miss the late night bar hopping. I miss that old whiskey bar where we spilled memories and dreamed about the future. I miss making films. I miss spending forever on a first draft and putting together the shot list. Being cited anxiety when shoot day got closer and closer. UMFC pitch night every semester. Building that club from 20 members to 70. Creating something intricate and beautiful together with an amazing crew. The antics and stories we'd make on set. I miss making my first film with all of you, living out my dreams in ways I can't describe. I miss getting together and talking about how we'd make a feature one day. I miss the collaborative creativity. I miss coming back to Melbourne, like a long-lost friend returning home unannounced. I'll miss falling in love with the best people I have ever or will ever meet. Hey there. It's been just over 2 years now, but it seems like I won't be headed anywhere soon. Looking back, it still feels like I left yesterday, but looking forward, I've made a new and old group of friends here too. I've learned and experienced a lot of new things. I still remember landing in Sydney with all my belongings at 7 AM and getting to work for the first day at 8 AM. Or the time we first went to Vic's for that life-changing meat platter. The first time discovering Dance Rush. Or our first hackathon.
Whoa, shit! Are you serious? Wait, what?
Shenanigans during and after work. Finding familiar friends and sneaking a look at the Google office. the IEM. Or practicing and running the city to surf. Buying a ukulele, guitar, bass, and violin, and proceeding to not touch any of them for 6 months.
This is the dumbest shit I've seen all week.
Or buying really fancy gear I always wanted, but never really needed. Going to fancy bars and getting a little too much into whiskey. Spending 1800 hours in VR. And cooking way too much. Setting up a dating profile for the first time. And procrastinating a lot. And, of course, with all these new experiences, I've met a group of excellent people who seem to be just as weird as I am. So, thanks. As much as I want to say my idyllic experience on the last decade is true for everyone, it's been a complicated few years for many. I doubt I need to say much here. The human experience is just difficult. I recently played this game called Kind Words, Lo-Fi Hip-Hop Beats to Write To. In it, you read requests and write kind responses to each other anonymously. It's really cute and wholesome. One of my favorite things in the game is a feature where you're able to write random nice things and send them out to everyone as little paper planes. It's a lot of fun opening each message up and getting this wave of encouraging energy, so here's my message. To me and everyone in the future, here's a message from 2020. Regardless if we all sort things out, be kind, be patient. It sounds hard, but try your best. You'll never be perfect, and you don't have to be. Every moment you've been vulnerable or stressed has helped you move forward. Being wrong is okay, as long as you realize it's an opportunity to learn. There's no need to beat yourself up over it. Reflect on every single second you get to experience in this human condition. You really don't deserve what you've been given, so cherish it. It's a beautiful and messy world, but it's ours, thank God. The good days look like they're over. Some days it looks like the world is on the verge of collapse, but then others it looks like we're going to be okay. Other people will do things that seem evil, but always remember, they're not just other people, they're all part of this race we're running together. Stuck going through the same motions, trying to find meaning that you're lucky enough to have already found. Help that will solve all our quarrels is probably not coming in this lifetime. For now, we're all stuck on this rock together. It just really do like that sometimes. And that's okay. Good, even. I'll leave you with this Carl Sagan quote you used to read all the time in high school.
But no one had ever seen it as such. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.